Welcome to Crimson Guitars and welcome to a quick Mini-torial about something very, very often overlooked, but incredibly important to a guitar, to guitar design, and most importantly, to the guitarist for whom you are building an instrument. And I often say that the fretboard is the user interface of your instrument, and that is true, but the neck is as much a part of that user interface as everything else. You can have a BC Rich-esque pointy body and phallic symbols everywhere and all that jazz, and it doesn't really, for the most part, cause any issues. If you mess around with the neck too much, you really do have issues. I built myself an instrument 6 or 7 months ago, and I was experimenting with neck shapes, and I wanted asymmetrical, but I also wanted D-ish, just to see what it was like. I built myself this guitar, and I hate it because the neck isn't quite right. Now, this often overlooked facet of neck design is the headstock to neck join. Where your headstock meets the neck, there is a change of shape, a change of design, and most people don't even think about that. Now, let's go close up. Now, this is a part complete headstock. Let me just clean it up a little bit more so you can see what's happening. There we go. I've just resined, I've filled all of this with resin, and it's partially sanded back. And there's still a little bit of carving to do, which you can see. But we're talking more about the design than we are about how to do it. Okay, so there we go. Your hand fits in here. A lot of first instruments that I've seen, people have this curve come much wider, so it comes to here rather than in the middle. And that curve comes out and it's very fat and very flat over here. Now that doesn't work because essentially you've got a curve on your neck, and that curve, as it's moving out, if it's going through a very fat volute, I nearly said ferrule, which is the wrong thing, then this whole area behind your first fret, which is where you play, arguably play the most, turns into a D shape. And what you want is for your entire guitar neck to be a smooth shape, and the same shape for as much of its length as humanly possible. Now, I will use the file to create lovely curves. To make that as comfortable as humanly possible. I say file, this is a rasp, hand cut. I think this is an Ariu rasp, but anyway. And that stays as smooth and comfortable as humanly possible. I'll turn the guitar around and do that side in a second. Now, the other thing that you need to be aware of is the positioning of your volute. And the highest point needs to be in line with your nut. I've seen it moved as far forward as halfway through the first nut, or as far halfway through the first fret. Come on. Or further behind the nut, and at that point it doesn't give any strength where you need it the most. But in here, it's all about being smooth and comfortable. Now with these nice rasps, try not to pull back, because doing that you're blunting it to a certain extent. But it's more about using your fingers to keep an idea of being comfortable. Smooth. Smooth and lovely. So if your volute is in the right place and it's the right shape, then quite frankly, you will have a guitar that is comfortable to play all the time. And it really is absolutely important. You cannot overestimate having a comfortable instrument. It's more important than the wood. It's more important than how it tastes. It is absolute prime importance. If your client, even if you're the client, doesn't enjoy the guitar, they're going to set it on and buy another one. Which we don't want, now do we? Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. Please consider supporting our Patreon, and yeah, good rasps everywhere. See you soon. Goodbye.